Big Dumb Movie.
Kwansu dudes, and welcome to Big Dumb Movie, where we discuss movies of the big dumb variety. I'm your host, Corey, and I'm here with my co-host, Josh the Review Dude.
What's going on, everybody?
Well, what's your experience with this movie, Surf Ninjas? I mean, when you were a kid, was it your jam?
I had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 on VHS, and the trailer used to pop up.
Whoa! New Line Cinema presents an awesome, rippin', totally stoked
Get on with it.
new movie, Surf Ninjas. It's the story of these kids who get booted from their country by this evil dude.
That was then.
Fuck, so that's where I remember seeing this trailer from. I remember I had a VHS tape, and the Surf Ninjas trailer was in front of it. And it was something I watched semi-regularly. That must have been it, man.
Yeah, it was on my copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. If yours also played a trailer for Surf Ninjas, leave it down in the comments.
So, I mean, let's talk about the movie itself, Surf Ninjas. It starts off, we meet our main characters, Ernie Reyes Jr., who plays Johnny.
Johnny Surf Ninja.
I mean, can you tell us a little bit about what these guys are about? We got Johnny, Ernie Reyes Jr., we got Zach, Ernie Reyes Sr., who else?
Well, I mean, you gotta address the big red-headed elephant in the room, and that's Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider is the derpy derp the diddly derpy derpy dumb. Rated PG-13.
Yeah, a very young-looking Rob Schneider, but apparently he was actually 30 years old during the filming of this.
Yes, it makes it a lot creepier out of context.
I mean, he must be like 60 by now then, right? Or at least almost 60.
Jesus Christ, he must be.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, I'm not good at math, but...
So, if you would like to do the math, leave it down in the comments.
All right, so Ernie Reyes Sr., Zach. Ernie Reyes Jr., Johnny. Ernie Reyes III, Adam. No, there's a little kid, the 12-year-old kid. His name's Adam in the movie.
I am Adam.
Now, these guys are surfers, and they're down here where I am, Southern California.
Yeah, so is this just regular life down in California?
Oh, you fucking know it, dude. I moto surf my ass to work every day.
Moto surf!
Moto surf!
Moto surf!
Above the drums, the bass, the flute, the harmonica, all the way from
360!
Malibu to Santa
360!
Monica, up to Long Beach, back to Huntington. Take out my scope so I can see the honeys running.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of came back later, though, in a way. Not from this movie, probably, but that's kind of like a meme, isn't it? Where, like, you're driving your car, you have to, like, film yourself, and you hop out and you start dancing while Drake is playing, then you get back in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We just reformatted the whole moto surf. Young kids call it ghost riding the whip now? Is that what you kids call it?
I don't fucking know. I'm very out of touch.
Yeah. Well, what's it called? Leave it down in the comments.
God damn it. All right. So we got moto surfing. I mean, they got like a beach house, and I think they're in Venice or Santa Monica. They're definitely in a beach town, maybe Orange County. I don't quite know. Do you know? Do they ever say?
Oh, well, I don't know if you know this, but to everyone that doesn't live in California, any city is just California. It's all California.
I assure you, Josh, it's not all like this. They live in a very nice beach community, and they got like a house right by the beach.
They live in the city. They live in the city of California.
Yeah. Down there in California City. I don't know what Rob Schneider's deal is, though. Rob Schneider is not part of their family. He's just like a friend that's always at their house. He wears like
goddamn freeloader.
Wears like boxer shorts on his head. I don't know what's going on there, but he does say they ask about his parents, and he says they're in a biosphere in Arizona.
Nice. Don't your parents ever ask where you've been?
Mr. McQuinn, my parents are sealed in the biosphere in Arizona.
They're in Biodome with Pauly Shore?
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure his dad, and I have some fan theories that I'm going to go into throughout the movie. My first fan theory is that his dad was Faulkner from Biodome.
Oh, yeah, that's... I'm sold on that one. That's totally it, right?
I mean, it's got to be.
Well, I mean, if Faulkner was my dad, I would probably turn out like Rob Schneider too.
Supermajority of Democrats here in the state of California say you have to have, all these kids have to have this amount of shots or this, or you can't go to school. So it's like, I think it's got to be the parents are the ones deciding how to raise their kids.
You're anti-vaccine?
Not anti, I'm for freedom of choice.
And we also have like our villain who's kind of introduced around here, but he has been sending out these ninjas to kind of like take out our main characters, Johnny and Adam.
I am Adam.
And they've been failing basically, but the guy that sent them, we get an introduction to him, and he's basically a cyborg man played by Leslie Nielsen.
The design aesthetic of his whole character, I think, is pretty fucking sweet.
Oh, it's awesome, man.
The whole samurai get up with the half robot face, it's like, what? It's so fucking cool.
And it's so fucking weird. Like, he is just like this cyborg guy in Patusan that, like, he's this white dude that took over somehow.
Yeah, he's a colonel in what army?
That's a very good question. I've never even thought of that. He's got a sick lair, though, doesn't he?
Oh, dude, that's such a badass Bond villain lair.
And apparently, Leslie Nielsen was, like, very method on set, which I just find mind-boggling. Like, He went method for Colonel Chi and Surf Ninjas?
Yeah, well, you know, Raul Julia went full method in Street Fighter. So it's... I can't explain it, but it's a thing, I guess.
I mean, there's another Street Fighter connection. You just mentioned Raul Julia and Street Fighter, but I don't know if you know this. A lot of the ninjas that are sent after Johnny and Adam, they're wearing this blue camouflage gear.
Yeah.
Those costumes were reused in Street Fighter.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I never knew that, and now I'm fucking mind blown.
Zatch shows up, and it seems like he's gonna start giving him some exposition, but right away, we get like our first like ninja attack, and he like basically kicks all their asses. Speaking of action and like the fights and stuff, how do you feel about this particular action scene? I mean, as well as the others in general.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this movie was choreographed by Ernie Reyes Jr. and Sr., right?
I don't know.
Considering Ernie Reyes Jr. had an executive producer credit, I'm going to assume so. But yeah, they are pretty well choreographed martial artists, and it shows when they're even directing other people.
So the dad gets kidnapped, and the kids are rescued by Zatch. And there's a little bit that happens here, but the main thing is he explains like their backstory. Like he basically says like, look, you guys were the princes over there in Patusan. Leslie Nielsen showed up and through a series of slapstick comedic events somehow took over our country.
Yeah, and it's never really established why he even wanted to invade Patusan to begin with. I'm assuming slave labor, but do you have any better theories? I mean, maybe they make like a really good chow mein.
Oh, dude, he wants them to carve him a bunch of wooden surfboards.
Oh, yeah, you know what? He's going to start his own surf ninja army.
So we get to meet another main character of the movie, Lieutenant Spence.
Tone Loc.
The man himself. Now, he is I guess he's like a detective in this area, and he, is coming to look into who bashed up the restaurant. And
well, it's another super 90s thing to have Tone Loc in your movie. He was popping up in a bunch of shit in the 90s around this time, like Ace Ventura, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
I actually have another fan theory. I might as well bring it up now. Is that after the events of Surf Ninjas and they free Patusan at the end.
I don't know where you're going with this.
He comes back to LA and he helps Ace Ventura, the pet detective.
Excuse me. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Free Snowflake the dolphin from the evil clutches of Ray Finkel.
I don't know if you've seen it floating around, but the Ray Finkel 10-year challenge.
I love memes, man.
We need to definitely bring up Rob Schneider's what if powers.
Let's do it. So, for those that don't know, Rob Schneider has this running gag in the movie where something bad's happening and he says, oh, what if this happens? And it happens, right? want to say it's kind of hit or miss, but now that I'm thinking back, it seems to always hit.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
so there's clearly magic in this movie, and we're going to get to that in a little bit, but magic is a prominent thing. So I think it's safe to say it's possible that the what if thing is real. Like if he says, what if something happens, that does actually make it happen.
Dude, I was going to say the same thing for years. I really believe there's like levity to the his what if power, which is just shame he never asked, what if this movie's successful?
I mean, he does break the fourth wall. He could have done it.
Yeah, I know. You had the opportunity in your hand and you fucking blew it.
He probably said on set, like, what if this movie flops?
Well, there's another running gag where he believes he's the prince, actually.
Iggy, you can't be the king of Patusan. You're not Asian. Oh, yeah?
So I'm assuming somewhere there's probably, shall we say it, a Schneider cut where he's where he actually is the king.
Oh my god! Release the Schneider cut.
Release the Schneider cut. God
is this what everyone on the internet's been fucking clamoring about? The Schneider cut? I thought it was something different completely.
I thought it was too. I thought it was about some superhero thing or something. I don't know, but I'm assuming it's this.
Speaking of Schneider, so there's a moment a little bit later on where the kids get attacked back at home again. And they fight off the ninjas, and it's revealed there that Adam...
I am Adam.
He has like powers that are going to come to him as far as being able to see the future. He's going to be a famous seer.
Yeah, so he could see the future in his Sega Game Gear, which is convenient considering Sega helped finance this movie.
He can look into his Game Gear, and instead of like playing whatever fucking probably really bad game he has, it shows him the future events of what's like about to happen within the next few minutes, it seems like. Except when it doesn't.
Except for when you need to get across the ocean.
I mean, this is some pretty 90s shit. Like, of course it comes through in his Game Gear. I remember this was like the second movie I had seen a Game Gear in. There's like a Game Gear displayed in the Jackie Chan movie. What's it called? Rumble in the Bronx. Remember that shit?
Did Sega help finance that movie too?
Maybe.
Like, it's reasons like this, Sega totally went out of business. Financing movies like Surf Ninjas and House of the Dead.
House of the Dead, oh god.
Yeah, they were goddamn proud of that one.
So after their second ninja attack, well, Rob Schneider blows up the house. I don't know if we mentioned that. His fault, as far as I'm concerned.
You gotta be more careful with those powers, Rob.
So our gang, what do they go to, they kind of like regroup, and they go to Little Patusan, which I guess is a place in LA. I've never been there. I'm not.
I was about to. When I go to visit LA, where can I find this area?
I think it's in the valley somewhere. I don't really know.
All right, I'll be sure to find Rob Schneider on the street and ask him.
Oh yeah, he's out here. He's just walking around. Just say, hey Rob, he'll come.
No, Rob, I ain't got money today. Piss off.
You're gonna use it on drugs, goddammit. That's one of my other fan theories, is that Iggy, after the events of this movie and, the day is saved, he becomes a male gigolo, and then later on, an animal, and then later on, he becomes a hot chick. So these are all connected. Same character, he just changes his names and kind of moves around. He gets into a lot of adventures, this guy.
So Rob Schneider's cinematic universe.
Exactly. And eventually, he kind of lands on his final job of being a motivational speaker. So down here at the restaurant, that's where we get a very big moment in the movie. A bunch of ninjas kind of swarm in. Zach, who's like the kung fu master guy that protects them, he's not there. All right, so all these ninjas are coming in, and the kids just got to improvise. They're like, I don't know, hiding behind stuff, and they're ducking behind tables. But something big happens. Why don't you take it over, Josh? What happens here?
All right, so there's a miraculous moment where a fist is flown, and Johnny catches it. The music cues up.
And if you don't know the movie, if you've never seen it and you're watching it for the first time, you might think like, oh, okay, he's gonna like train in martial arts and eventually become like a ninja like himself, kind of like Zach.
He's gonna destroy the Sith and eventually bring balance to the Force.
No, I mean, it's more of a Rey situation. It's just kind of like there now. You got it. He's just a fucking badass ninja martial artist guy. Just kind of like how his younger brother can now see visions in his Game Gear. Well,
it just clicks on one day.
There's a pretty good gag in the fight scene that I like where when Zatch does show up eventually and he like fucks this dude up with chopsticks.
Yeah, that's a little Balls of Fury, I want to say, because I want to say they use the same gag in Balls of Fury.
Oh, yeah?
Let me tell you what you can tell the dragon.
There's a pretty funny part where after the fight, the little kid Adam's like, well, he's a ninja. Like, what about me? Like, where's my powers? And Zatch's like,
you'll be a seer of visions. Close your eyes and tell me what you see.
I see you leading thousands victoriously into battle and becoming a national hero.
Really?
Oh my gosh. You're wearing a dress.
What's this?
Psych.
Unfortunately, he never saw that this movie would eventually receive an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No.
But no, there's another part right after the restaurant scene that I love is when Johnny's coming out of the restaurant and he's super jazzed.
I love the part when I was like, ah! Sorry.
Pay attention to the chef in the background. He's super jazzed to be accidentally hit.
I did not notice that.
He's like, oh, it's super awesome. Did you see that?
Tone Loc, who's like the detective trying to figure out where their dad is, he like eventually catches up with them. They're kind of like on the run in Little Patusan and they're like getting new clothes. They're preparing to take their trip to Patusan to kind of liberate their country.
So Tone Loc catches up with them on the boat and he's like, look, this is a little weird. I'm going to get you out of here, but before he can do that, is incapacitated by Ernie Reyes Sr.
Yeah, he's got like the Vulcan nerve pinch, don't he?
Yeah, totally, right? It's awesome.
It is awesome. And Tone Loc, who they Vulcan nerve pinched, he decides just out of nowhere, he's like, you know what? I'm going to help you guys with this whole thing. Why not?
I ain't had a vacation in 17 months, amongst other things. And I'm in some deep need of some serious laughs. You know what I'm saying?
Been in there for about 6 hours. I've come around to the idea of just going to war with some people I've never met.
War. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, they got like a magic Sega Game Gear. They've got Rob Schneider with them. There's a dude with an eye patch. They're basically the Avengers. So they get their weapons and they start kind of traveling through Patusan. And at one point they're walking alongside a pretty like narrow cliffside, right?
Yeah, it's like oh shit, what is the pass they pass through in Lord of the Rings? It's something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's Rob Schneider's fault that things go wrong.
What if somebody fell?
At this point, you should just ask, what if Colonel Chi dies on the crapper from a heart attack?
What if Colonel Chi went out like Elvis?
Yeah, a side note, yeah, I guess we haven't brought it up, but the whole robot shtick, it seems like a fundamental design flaw that you can't even get it mildly wet.
That's right. So, like, his weakness is established pretty early. So, like, he's got all these, like, cyborg augments. He's got, like, half a metal face, Kano style.
He's pretty RoboCop at this point.
He's pretty fucking RoboCop, but, like...
He's more machine now than man.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck me, I guess it's raining. I guess I'm not doing anything. I can't leave the house.
I need the bath. Well, you know what? I haven't taken one in 9 years. It's fine.
Pretty smelly.
All right, so we get a part that is pretty memorable for me, and it's a chase scene. So when they rescue Tone Loc and Adam...
I am Adam.
They fight off some soldiers who all have guns, by the way, but never use them at all.
Yet not a single goddamn bullet is fired in this entire... Oh, well, one.
And Adam, who's the little kid, steals a Jeep. And that's like kind of a classic like 90s thing, like, oh, the little kid's got a car. Isn't that funny?
But that's ultimately like his character arc, because they do set that up.
No, Dad. We just want to drive. but the man won't let us.
Yeah, he does say that. That's his character arc. He finally gets to drive.
He gets to drive and instantly hits people, which lets me believe he should not be driving.
One of my favorite jokes in the movie is here, and that's where Rob Schneider finds a box of dynamite in the back of the Jeep.
Seriously, there's dynamite here. We'll throw it at him.
Like, he bonks some guy in the car who then bonks the driver, and the entire car goes off-road.
It's so fucking awesome.
That is the most practical way to use dynamite, I feel.
Right? And they call him out. They say, well, you gotta light it first.
But we don't have a match, Corey, or a lighter.
Or do they?
Wait, I got something.
Cigarettes.
Yeah. I know I should quit.
Maybe you should get the patch. Look who I'm talking to.
They have rallied their troops and they're trying to figure out how to get to the little island where Colonel Chi's fortress is, or like whatever. They're trying to get to this place, and they don't have any boats, right? They got to get there by water, but there's no real way to do it.
The Game Gear's crapping out.
Yeah, the Game Gear, it ain't doing it, man.
Patusanis any good at wood carving and stuff?
They are among the best in the world.
Johnny teaches him how to surf real quick.
Remember, bend your knees, use your arms. Good. Now you're styling.
That's all you need, man.
The one thing I want to say about the surfing scene is that Rob Schneider's character arc is also kind of completed in that he never really surfed, but he does here.
Well, what if you could? The ability's within you, bro. What if I could?
Even Tone Loc surfs, and
brothers don't surf. Let's get back to the hood. Won't none of the homies talk to me again.
You think he argued with the director about that line?
Oh, dude, I think he did, and then they showed him the paycheck, and he was like, "All right."
So they get to the island, and they kind of have the final confrontation with their enemies here. So I don't know, they're like practicing martial arts or something, and like the villains. So the good guys, the surf ninjas, they just like toss a stick of dynamite in the middle of them.
Yeah, they Indiana Jones the situation. You know, you bring dynamite to a fist fight.
But Johnny confronts Colonel Chi. Now, does he confront him before or after the famous gunshot? Like, it seems like he gets shot in the shoulder, I think, but there's no wound, there's no blood. He's just laying there.
He acts like he gets shot in the shoulder, but as he's laying on the ground, he's gripping his stomach.
You know what? Here's my theory on that. We know he's a smoker, right?
Yeah.
He got winded, and he's just like, I'm going to pretend I got shot because I don't have to fight anymore.
I'm so tired, you guys.
Fucking smoking all those cigarettes off screen has just drained him. He's done.
But as he takes the bullet, he does like the most epic barrel roll I've ever seen in my life.
It's pretty good.
Do a barrel roll!
So Johnny goes after Colonel Chi. It's kind of like the main hero against the main villain at this point. Now, Colonel Chi, he may be a cyborg, but he is basically useless. Like, he's not good at fighting. He's like not really super strong or anything. He's just...
It's almost like, how did he even accomplish to take over a third world country?
He lucked out. Like, he... just right place, right time. So the final confrontation is I wouldn't say it's a letdown. It's just not a lot to it. Like, Colonel Chi goes to like grab Johnny, but his shit starts malfunctioning and he starts like choking himself, and then he like starts like grabbing his own dick.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a little weird.
And there's definitely like a dick prop in the pants, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. You definitely see bulge.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, what epic of a fight did you expect when it's Ernie Reyes Jr. and Leslie Nielsen?
I mean,
who's got one foot in the grave already?
I got what I expected, I feel. Well, let's go into ratings. I'll take it over. I'm going to give Surf Ninjas, for the first time ever, maybe, I don't really remember, on Big Dumb Movie, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. It's fucking amazing. Anything I might have said bad about it earlier, fuck that. It's actually good. So what's your rating on any rating scale you want, of course?
Oh, definitely gonna give this like a solid, perfect score of 10 Colonel Cheese out of 10 Colonel Cheese.
Yeah.